some little pieces of cardboard on my spokes so it'd make a sound at least.
Coming up.
Oh yeah, I was waiting on him. Clock out. Thank you.
Oh, that's it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Careful.
Thank you. Will do.
Got the light and wheels.
Yeah. Help me see. Help people see me at night. Yeah, so it's quiet. Yeah. That's all the noise it makes. It's nice, ain't it?
Felt like it's a test.
Exactly. It's electric. Have a good one, guys. I'll be here. Hello, everyone. So today, I'm actually leaving work right now. It's like 3 p.m. I'm going to do my review of the bike, what I think about it, thoughts, and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to throw in some riding tips, just some suggestions, I guess, some things I've learned as I ride it. And also, here's a heads up, I use it as a commuter. What up, though? So yeah, I use it as a commuter. It's how I get to and from work. Unless like it's horrible weather, if it's raining real bad, then I'll hop in the car. But I've had it, I always forget when I got it. It's either June or July. It's September 2nd. I put 881 miles on it. So I'd say I have a decent enough experience on riding it, spending some time on it, noticing good things, bad things. And I will say overall, in case I start drifting to like just praising it or drifting towards hating it, is I absolutely love this thing. So like anybody that asks about it, I'm like, get one. All my friends, I'm like, get one, let's get ride together. 100% get one. I am going to skip to a little bit about riding. Right there, that guy noticed me. Always give him a little wave, just to say thank you, because it feels good when somebody sees you. It just feels good. So this way home, it's this one little spot I'm on right here is a little sketchy. It is maybe 2 miles long, and as you can see, it's just a 2-lane road, and speed limit's 45, and I'm cruising about 30 right now, going uphill. And I make sure I have a fresh charge. That way I can go as fast as possible. If people try to pass me right here, it's kind of a little shady. I don't really like it. I try to ride a little closer towards the middle of the lane. That way they don't try to pass me. Because I get like, hey, I'm slowing them down, but at the end of the day, it's 2 miles, so it ends up being about 4 minutes of me slowing them down. So 4 minutes of their time. I know they don't understand that, but it's not a huge deal at the end of the day. So always try to ride safe. Yeah, so about the bike, it is a Super 73 RX. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Yeah, I have the green and red, and like I said, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. My riding style, I always ride in mode 4, which is unlimited, and it hovers around on full charge, and I'm 31. I've hit 36, I think it's the top speed I've hit, and when it gets below 75% charge is when I notice a little bit of drop. It kind of hovers around 28 miles per hour then. And then when I get below 50, it kind of goes to 27, 26. And then anything below 25%, you're not really getting much from it at the get-go. As you may have already heard, torque, this thing doesn't have a ton of low-end torque. So getting it going is a little bit of work. Once you get up to speed, it'll maintain. Yeah, so things I absolutely love about it. I love the speed. Oh, I didn't want to say, when you are riding it, hey, bikers actually waved at me. I felt cool. I'll probably look at torque. You're supposed to wave low. I waved high. That's my bad. When you're thinking about this bike, remember it is a bicycle. So it is by no means is it a motorcycle. If you compare it to motorcycles, it's going to be the worst motorcycle on the market. If you compare it to bicycles, it's going to be one of the best bicycles. So when you're thinking about comparing it, thinking about what it is a bicycle. There are some other electric that are advertised as bicycles, but if they're going 40, 50, even 60 miles per hour, those you need to compare to a motorcycle. They're going way too fast to be a bike. You can easily cruise above 25 miles an hour. You can get to anywhere inside town. You know, if you're within 30 miles of where you want to go, you're going to get there, like no issue. My work is 10 miles away from my home, and so it takes me, by car, it would take me 20 minutes, maybe 18 on a good day. On the bike, it takes me right at 30 minutes. So I'm adding 10 to 12 minutes of travel time, but that's absolutely nothing. It's worth getting outside and riding on the bike. So we're already almost to the end of this little sketchy segment. The other side of my business park, I can actually go away that's a little safer, but it's a lot longer before I get to a bike lane. So I like to go this way just because it's a lot less time before I get to an actual bike lane. My buddy Jake just got a job with Charlotte Fire Department. Congratulations, Jake. Proud of you, buddy. So yeah, the bicycle is amazing. I keep it in unlimited 4, and when it comes to pedal assist, I always keep it in pedal mode 4 for that as well. I've tried the other modes like once or twice, and especially for commuting, it just feels way too slow and too sluggish, especially the pedal assist. I think the bike weighs in at 83 pounds. So when you take that into factor, and then you also consider that it doesn't have the low end torque, when you're pedaling, it feels like you are like in the wrong gear to be starting off. And I ain't mad at it. I know some people put 10 speed on it, or maybe I think I saw someone built their own custom 3-speed, which is pretty cool. I'm not that mechanically inclined. Yeah, so my riding, I'll always stay in mode 4 and always pedal assist 4, and it's so fun. Like around town is an absolute blast. On this to and from work, it's slightly boring just because it's a lot of just straightness. And then I don't know if you can see in front of me. So on these roads, there's a ton on the ground. Look on the ground. There's a ton of rocks and debris, and there's a ton of metal in there actually. And so there's, I guess, I don't know, there's been so many issues, people talking about getting flats. I'm at almost 900 miles and have not had a single flat, knock on wood. And I don't know if it's everywhere, but it seems to be this debris washes up on the side of the road just from, that's not where cars are, so that tends to be where we ride more. And there's their pressure on their tires, what they have it at. I have mine like between 28 and 30. I check it like every 150 miles just to make sure I'm kind of in that range. And on the tires, I have noticed, like I've taken it in grass and on gravel, when I have that much air in them, it is very, very slick. I would assume if I lowered the pressure, it would help, but I think these tires are just not made for off-road at all. I've seen a couple of videos of guys doing it, and same thing, like I said, I assume that the tire pressure is dramatically dropped down. I even saw one guy, I think he had it like at 10 PSI. And then if your pressure's too low, you can cause flats by like getting the pitch flat and all that stuff. And I know I said pitch really funny, I apologize. Yeah, so no flats for me. I haven't had the hub motor issue with the grinding yet. I believe I have the version 2 motor. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's what I have. I don't know of anyone that has the V3 yet. Some people joke that it's just a lift. But no issues with that so far. Almost 900 miles in, no issues. I've done no modifications to the bike either. I guess I did add the little covers on the wiring just because it's super cheap and super easy and cleans it up a little bit. And I'm torn on the faults on the motor, the issues it had. You know, some people like said they were getting it right out of the box. Like first time they get on it, it's having an issue. It's like, okay, that's not okay at all. And then some people are like, oh yeah, I took it off the road and I took it off some jumps, down the stairs. It's like, okay, I mean, if you're sitting on the seat, all that weight's going to go to that back tire. And It's already an 83-pound bike. If you're 150 plus pounds, that's a lot. That's a lot of force going into that, and I can easily see in that chipping those gears. So I have done none of that. Whenever I do take it off like a curb, I'll just either go really slow, or I'll make sure all my weight's on the pedals. And to me, like I said, I've had no issues, and I hope I don't develop any issues. I really felt a little close. I really hope I don't get 1,500, 2,000 miles in, and then develop the issue, and then they say they won't take the warranty. So I got some in the bike lane here. Make sure I don't run over that. And be careful, guys. Something I would definitely suggest, I'm going to suggest, is assume you are not seen. Assume everyone doesn't see you. And treat that, don't treat it as like stop at every intersection. No, like keep moving. Keep doing your thing, but do everything you can to make sure you make eye contact with cars at intersections. And if something does happen, don't get mad. Like, if they were distracted, then okay, yes, you have a very valid reason to be upset, and I get it, because it does put our lives in danger when a car doesn't see us. But usually getting angry and yelling at somebody, or trying to chase them down and cuss them out or honk your horn at them, it's not really going to do any good. It's just going to escalate the situation. If you can, keep your cool and be like, hey man, did you see me back there? Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Just take an extra second to make sure you see us. Because we are moving fast, but we are small, like compared to a car. And I've rode this thing to work for basically since I've had it. And I've probably seen 10 other bikes total in these bike lanes. So these people that are out here driving every day, they're not looking for you. They're not expecting to see you. So take that extra time. If something does happen, even if you're 100% right, you're also the one that's going to get hurt. So just keep your wits about you, stay cool, and also be very defensive in your driving. Because it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be something to get upset about, and you definitely don't want to get hurt. So back to the bike. Especially in this type of driving, I have had like a little urge to want it to go faster. Because like if it went 45, it's the same thing. If it went 45, I'd want it to go 55. If it went 45, I think that'd probably be dangerous. But I do think for riding on these streets, it would make me feel a lot more comfortable, because I could actually keep up with the 45 mile per hour zones a little bit better. Now, if I'm in a 45 mile per hour zone, I'm getting blown by. If I'm in the 35 or 25, it's perfect. The 25 is actually not, everyone speeds. So if you're in an area that's 20 or 25 is the speed limit, then that's absolutely ideal. The brakes have been great. They're obviously not working as great as they were brand new, because I've used them a lot. But when I first got them, I was like, oh shit, I think I saw a video of someone doing a flip over the handlebar. They were pulling up to a red light. I guess they just locked the front brake up and flipped right over it. When you first get the bike, definitely get used to those brakes. They do. So the suspension is great. This was the first e-bike I had ever rode, and I think that what made me want one was I saw Cam Newton. He had one riding around uptown Charlotte, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I want one. And then when they came out with this RX model, I was like, oh, that is badass. I need that. So I ordered it. And so I only rode that one, and then I did a group ride a couple weeks ago. I got to ride the OG, and then I was able to ride Rad Runner, and neither one of those had full suspension, and you can tell a difference. So at first riding this, I was like, okay, the suspension's pretty good, but like I still feel some of the big bumps. But when I rode that, like, oh, you feel everything. So this is very, very smooth compared to bikes without the full suspension. Like I think it's a must-have. I couldn't imagine ever getting another one without it. So the size of the bike, same thing. It was my first time on an e-bike, minus the Lime bikes. And when I first got it, 'cause I'm 6'2"-ish, 6'2" if I do yoga, 6'1" if I don't. And I weigh like 190, 195. When I first got on the bike, I was like, okay, it feels good. It feels real small. Because when you adjust a normal bike, you know, you want your feet, make sure they see them, thank you. You want to make sure your legs fully extend at the bottom of the pedal. This, obviously, there's no adjusting to the seats or anything. There's no adjustments you can do. So it is where it is. And it felt small. I was like, okay, my knees are, when I'm at the bottom, my knee is pretty big. I'm like, okay, that's not ideal, but whatever. Well, that same day when I rode, I didn't notice as much on the Rad Runner, but when I rode the OG, that thing is so small compared to the RX. The guy that had, I think he said he was like 6'1", and he didn't seem to complain about it, because that is a cool looking bike, but that is a small bike. Like, your knees are almost in your chest. The RX, I'm so used to it now, it's extremely comfortable, and it's perfect. The size, I think, is ideal, because the average size person is going to fit really well on it. And if you're a little bit taller, if you're like 6'6", not too sure how that'll work for you, but you might be okay. And then on the pedal assist, I do wish, maybe this will be because there's like rumors that there is an update coming that's going to give more torque to the bike, especially at the low end, and I think that is very much needed. When you pedal, like if you're in pedal assist 1, it's basically nothing. Like, I think there needs to be some tweaking to the pedal assist, because when you're in 4, you basically don't pedal at all. Like, you just keep your feet moving, and it's the exact same as having the throttle full, just the throttle all the way down. And that doesn't bother me. That's fine for like when you're just cruising around. I do wish there was a little more like you actually working, and then the pedal assist is kind of actually assisting, not doing the full work. I'm sure that's a very fine line. I'm not sure how loud that was for y'all. That's pretty loud for me. I don't know how that would work, so I don't know. But I am curious if there was a way to adjust it to where how much the pedal assist actually assists. I don't know. It'd be cool if you could adjust it like at certain speeds. I don't know if there's something that can eventually be done. I don't know if I'm just thinking stuff that doesn't exist yet. But it would be cool to like have a little more help at the low end, a little less help at the top end. So I had an issue that I've seen other people have, is when I first got the bike, so it has a tail light and a brake light. I didn't know the difference. It's all built to the same component. The tail light is whenever your headlight is on, the tail light is on as well. The brake light is whenever you hit the brakes, then the brake light comes on. So if you didn't have your headlight on, just the brake light would come on when you brake. If you had your headlight on, the tail light would be on, and then when you brake, it would add additional light to it, or get brighter. Well, mine worked perfectly fine when I first got the bike, but then I was leaving work, at nighttime, and a buddy at work was like, hey man, your light doesn't look as bright as it looks to. So I started looking into it, and the tail light wasn't coming on at all. And that's honestly, I was pretty upset about it at first, because like, hey, that's a safety issue. I'm riding at night, and I didn't know. Like, I get like light bulb burnout, like, that can happen. But for this to happen, it was just like out of the blue, and it wasn't a light bulb burning out. It was an actual. You still don't know what the issue was, or something else. So I guess in theory it could be the light bulb, but if it burns out that quick, that's just a bad bulb. And then so I opened the ticket, a support ticket on August 14th. Today is September 2nd, and I haven't heard anything back. And that's kind of disappointing, because they have a system in place where you get that automated email that like, hey, we've got your ticket number open. We're going to do whatever we do, whatever the email, the generic email that's automatically sent back in a response. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I like that. But then they should actually follow up on it. Because when they were having issues with all the stuff, the motors issues and shipping getting delayed, it was the same thing. I emailed them, and it took like 3-4 weeks before I got a reply. And it was frustrating because it just feels like, to me, it feels like the brake light, tail light issue is something that they know of and they don't have an answer for. So they're just being quiet on it. They're ignoring all those emails, and until they figure out a solution, they're not going to say anything. And to me, that's frustrating. I appreciate when companies are open and honest and just tell you, like, hey, we screwed up, or hey, we didn't see this issue. It's starting to happen. Let's figure it out. And the fact that they're not doing that is just like, how that sucks. It just, especially when you spend this amount of money on essentially a bicycle, then you expect some decent customer service. And to add to the frustration was like if you post something in the on Reddit or on the Facebook group for the owners, then half the time or all the time you have people that are like diehard fans just jump on you, like they're a small company, they're doing their best. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get they're a small company, they're growing, they're doing better. They're sold, I think I heard 4 times as many bikes as they expected. But that is still on them to respond to their emails, and they've said they've hired more people for customer service. But in my experience, that it hasn't helped. I haven't had a response. Like it just sucks that like, I don't know, you want to support the company that you like they make very cool looking bikes, they make fun bikes, they make bikes that seem to be decent quality, and whenever there's an issue, yes, they do work on to fix it, but they're very quiet about it and don't add much help and reassurance to you. That's just my experience. Like I said, I've seen some people like they call them, they're great, they help them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe they just don't like me. But like I said, overall, it is a great bike. Literally ride it everywhere. I have a 60-pound dog, and I got one of those K9 sport sacks. And it's basically a book bag that the dog rides in. And he rides on the bike with me from time and time again. He gets kind of antsy after about, what did I do last time? I think it was like 30 minutes with him. After about 25, he's like, okay, I'm ready to go. So I try to keep the time he's stuck in that bag to the minimum. This area is very industrial, you can see. So I would assume there's a bunch of just nails and screws and stuff on the ground. And I still haven't had an issue. Really hoping that doesn't happen. I never use the throttle. I use the throttle when I'm starting. It's like from a dead stop. I'll use the throttle to get it going, and I get pedal assist moving. Like I said, I'm always in 4 and 4. And when going through turns, remember you got the pedals. If you're leaning too far, you don't want your pedal to hit the ground. So I'll get the inside pedal up and use the throttle through the turns. So we're on Tryon right now, going by Noda Brewery. Good little brewery. The same thing, so I'm going to have to turn left up here in a minute. I try to spend as little time as possible in the left lane, give people a chance to easily pass me. Easiest thing to do is I have had 0 issues with just looking back, sticking your arm out, use your signals, turn left, stick your arm out to the left. Most of the time people will let you over. I got a gap here, so I'll just let over. This is the Matheson Bridge. If you ever see any skyline picture of Charlotte, I say 20% of them are taken from this bridge. A bunch of time lapses. It's a good place to get a good shot of the skyline. There we are. The skyline. That's going to be turned into a park over the next couple of years. It's going to be Charlotte's version of Central Park. I feel like parks are becoming more and more popular. They're less. You can spend time in restaurants and sporting events and other stuff. People out in the park, it's good to see. So on my route home, this is another reason I like to go this way, is this turn is really fun. So we're basically going to do almost a 360. I always run this red light because I'm turning. And if we get lucky, it'll stay green. Yeah. Give my hand signal. That turn is just so fun. So now in the Ville Heights, now into the Noda area of Charlotte, part of town I live in. So the bike, phenomenal. I've had no major issues, just the lights, the only issue I've had. I'm not 100% satisfied with customer service, but that's just my experience. It doesn't mean overall the bad, just means my experience hasn't been to what I expect or what I would hope for. And I did see some other companies give $50, I think it was Ariel D-Rider. They gave $50 to everyone who had to wait. I think it was only like a week or 2 week delay on their bikes. They gave them $50. And that's pretty cool. Like showing your customers that they're important to you is nice. Instead of, I don't want to talk bad about them. I love Super 7. I love the bike. I think it is by far the coolest looking bike. So yeah guys, almost home. So it took me, it's right at 34 minutes when I started recording. So a little slow today. I did go that little extra, I went a little way at the end there to go around that turn to add a little fun to the ride. I've seen a bunch of Super 73s riding around this part of town lately. It was good to see. You know, I've done one group ride. I've been out of town on the weekends, but I'm going to join them for another ride here soon. Yeah, I'm excited for y'all to see the best part of me getting home with the dog. He's so excited to see me. And then to take care of it, I'm going to take it in. I'm going to find a bike shop that works on e-bikes at 1,000 miles and get the brakes adjusted. Which, if you want to dive into it, go on YouTube and look at videos on how to do that stuff. Do it yourself. Like, figure it out. Learn some new skills. You never know. Maybe one day you'll have your own bike shop. Wouldn't be a bad gig nowadays. Seems more and more people going to bikes. We're home. Must let the dog out. Anybody sings that song, I'll hate you forever. Hey dude, come on dude. Come on dude. Hi dude. Hey, buddy. Hi. 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 I'm home, dude. I'm home, dude. Hi, dude. Hi.